hope you're having a great comeback to school in quarantine. Today we're going to start talking about the first topic that we're going to be looking at in the third trimester, or last trimester. And the first thing that we're going to talk about is the skeletal system. So the skeletal system or skeleton is basically bones. We have 206 bones in all of our body, and each bone has its specific job. If you remember, we talk about specialized cells. Well, bones, they are similar and they have their own job too. So if you put this bone in your back, it's not going to serve the same function. It's not going to work. All of our bones in our body, they look different because they need to do something different.
We have in here our human skeleton, and for example we have the skull. The skull is the one that is going to protect our brain in case anything hits our head. Then we have the ribs, and if you notice, they are like a cage, and they are the ones protecting our heart and protecting our lungs as well. Now we have in the back, in yellow in here, we have our backbone. Your backbone is the one holding your head up. It's also made out of a stack of smaller bones called the vertebrae. And if you notice, we have in here the vertebral body. All of these little bones, they run through all of your back. Inside of your spinal cord, in your backbones, you have a thick bundle of nerves. That is, you have a lot of nerves stashed together, and it runs down to all of your back, and it meets your muscles. They are the ones in charge of communicating your brain, and they take all of these messages, they take it down to your muscles. Then we have joints. That is where two bones meet. If you notice, for example, in your elbows, in your knees, all over your body, you have a lot of joints. You have a lot of bones getting together. And we have two types of bones. We have the ball and socket joints, and we have the hinge joints. So the ball and socket joints allows the movement in all of the directions. So the joint, this joint is called ball and socket because it looks like a ball. So this is supposed to be the ball and the socket. The socket is like where you can put the ball. In your hips, you have a ball and socket joint in here. And also in your shoulders. And the way that you can recognize the ball and socket joints is because you can move it in all types of directions. While the hinge joints, they only allow the bending movement. So we have the hinge joints that are the most common ones. We have it in our knees, we have it in our elbows, and they allow you to just move in one direction. So if you notice, if you try to move your knee, for example, or your elbow in all kinds of directions, you're not going to be able to do it. In our joints, guys, there is not only the bones, but you have something to help the bones. If you have only the bones, they're going to hurt each other. But we have in here the for starters, we have the ligaments that are the ones attaching two bones together. And then we have the cartilage, and the cartilage is a very soft type of bone in a way. And on top of that, we have the synovial fluid. The synovial fluid is the one allowing a smooth movement, is the one helping you move better.
To understand the two types of joints that we have in our body, I want you to do this. I want you to take your arm, put it like this, and then do this. This is a hinge joint, and The thing with a hinge joint is that it can only move up and down. It cannot move in circular movements. I mean, if you can move your arm in circular movements, that there's something wrong in there. We can do something like this, but if you hold this, you cannot go completely. Now this, guys, this is a ball and socket joint, so we can do it. It's possible for us to go in circular movement. We have the same type of joint in our hip. We have the cartilage that is kind of bony but soft. If you take your ears, you have the cartilage in here, and it stops the bones from banging together. And we have the synovial fluid that lubricates the joints where we have our bones. Now, we're going to do an experiment, kind of. So for this experiment, I need you to go through your house and I need you to get some things. I need you to get 2 pieces of fabric. I have these 2 pieces of fabric. And you can get t-shirts, you can get blankets, whatever you can find in your house. Just bring 2 pieces of those things, and then you're going to get a bag, a plastic bag, and you're going to fill it with some water. You're going to have something like this. So you can ask your parents, you can use one of Super or Walmart or something, and just fill it with water. It doesn't have to be completely full, and try to not get a lot of air in the water bag. In this experiment, our arms or fists are going to be our bones, and we're going to see how the joints work together. So we have our bones, and then the 2 fabrics are going to be our cartilage. So you're going to cover your bones with the cartilage. It's going to look something like this. And then, well, if you have something to hold them so it doesn't fall, you can use that. You can use a rubber band, maybe. Let me go get a rubber band for that.
2 hours later.
If you can get assistance, I would recommend you to get assistance. Now that we have our hands as bones and our fabric as the cartilage, we're going to put the synovial fluid. So you're going to take the bag, or you're going to ask someone to take the bag and place it between your bones. And if you notice, guys, you're able to, oh, no, don't fall. You're going to be able to do a movement similar like this, and you are not hurting your bones. Now, for some reasons, some people, they lose their synovial fluid. They have problems on their knees and they lose their synovial fluid. And also with time, the synovial fluid starts to be lost in your body, and you have less synovial fluid. So at some point, you lose this, and you're left with only the cartilage. Now, I want you to do this. Try to rub it against each other. If you notice you're feeling something, now your bones, that is your fist, now it is starting to hurt a little bit, or at least you're feeling something. But I mean, if we do it just for a little time, it's not a big deal. But imagine that this is your knee. So in normal situations, your knee would be like this, and while you're walking, your knee has the synovial fluid and it doesn't hurt that much. You see? But without the synovial fluid, it's going to start hurting. Now imagine that you don't have your cartilage. If you take away your cartilage, you would be banging your bones against each other, and it hurts more. So that's why, well, thanks God that our body is amazing and we have a lot of precautions, and our body is protected in a lot of different ways. So our bones getting together with just the ligaments, it would be a very, very bad idea. I mean, imagine you're jumping and your bones, you do this, and when you come back, your bones are going to do this. I mean, imagine your bones doing this. When you have the cartilage, when you have the synovial fluid in there, the impact is less. so your body is more protected and is more prepared for everything. I mean, if you don't want to do the experiment, you don't have to do it. But if you do, take a picture and send it to me. I want to see your beautiful faces and I want to see you working at home. I miss you guys. So take a picture of yourself and send it. You can send it to my email or you can send it in response to an activity in Google Classroom. So send me a picture of you with your bony hands and with your cartilage, with your synovial fluid. So basically that's it about our skeleton. I hope that it was clear. If you have any questions, please let me know. And I told you I was going to upload the pages of the book in here, but maybe they take it down because of copyright, so I didn't do it at the end. But if you have any questions, let me know. And that's it. See you next time, guys.